What's up, guys? This is Zach from Whitestone Distillery, and today we finished up our primary fermentation, which is exciting for a couple different reasons. First and foremost, we get to start jumping into our secondary fermentation, which is when all the fun flavors and the different notes and the tones in the mead, like the vanilla and the maple, are really going to start coming through. So that's going to be exciting, but we also need to degas the mead one more time. And this is a really great opportunity for me to show you guys how I degas and honestly what exactly degassing is. But before we jump into that, I need to give a huge shout out to Steve from Steve Stark Design, who designed the logo that you guys saw in the very beginning of this video. He reached out to me, and for no other reason than he liked what I was doing on this channel, he offered to design it completely for free. So I need to give Steve a huge shout out. Thank you so much. I absolutely love it. So other than that, grab yourself a drink and let's jump into it. So at this point, our primary fermentation has been going strong for about a week now, and I've degassed about once every day. So before I get into the secondary fermentation, I wanted to talk to you guys a little about what degassing is, why we do it, and how I do it. So what exactly is degassing? Well, while all the yeast has been going to town, turning all the sucrose into glucose into alcohol, one of its byproducts is CO2, or carbon dioxide, and most of that rises up to the top. That's what we see all in here, and it's what we see bubbling out of the top of the airlock. However, a ton of CO2 particles are suspended in solution during the creation of that alcohol. So all degassing is us inserting some sort of tool, mixing all this up, separating those CO2 molecules from the rest of the solution, and letting them bubble all the way to the top and escaping without letting any of the oxygen in on the top. But why do we degas? Why do we want all this CO2 out of the solution? It turns out that CO2 is harmful to the yeast. It stresses it out, and just simply getting that carbon dioxide that's dissolved in the solution out of the solution, it lets the yeast do a cleaner job. Your final product is going to be considerably cleaner. It's going to be much lighter. It's not going to have nearly as much of a bite as you're used to of things coming right off their secondary fermentation. So that's a little bit about what degassing is and why we do it. Real quick, I'm going to show you guys how I do it, and then I'm also going to add the maple and the vanilla for our secondary fermentation. Now, disclaimer here. There are 100 ways to degas your mead or your beer or your wine or whatever you're brewing or whatever you're distilling. I'm just showing you guys my way of doing it. Now, some people might think that I'm not degassing enough. I'm not getting as much of that CO2 out of the solution as I need to be. However, what do you want? High five. Good dog. Go on. Little punk. Where was I? Oh yeah. Some people might not think that I get enough of the CO2 out of the solution. I don't degas quite as severely as most people. However, I do degas more than most people. I degas about 1 or 2 times a day for the primary fermentation. I just discovered that kind of creates a better end product. So before you start degassing your own stuff, go watch other YouTube videos. I'll tag some in the description below just so you have a little bit of situational awareness on where all you can go to learn about degassing. I'm just showing you guys my method of doing it. I'm going to be careful as I take the top off of this just to make sure that I'm not incorporating any dirty air into the vessel. I'm going to be using this sanitized stainless steel spatula to actually do the degassing, simply because I know since it's stainless steel and there's no dings, there's no marks on it, and it's sanitized, there's no way that any bacteria is going to get into our solution. That's it for degassing. Now we're going to add everything that we need for our secondary fermentation. There's still a little bit of sugar in the solution. It's still slightly sweet. All I'm going to be doing is adding around 5 ounces of pure maple and then a couple ounces of vanilla just to get that flavor for the secondary fermentation. Well, guys, that's it for this video. The mead's probably going to sit on a secondary fermentation for about the next 2 weeks, and then after that, the next few steps are going to be to throw in the fining agent, try to get the mead to clarify, have all the yeast and all the particulates drop out of it, bottle 2 or 3 bottles of it, and then take the rest of that mead, so I'll probably have about 10 gallons at that point total. Take that to a little local distillery and then distill that with them so I can bring that home and start aging it. But until we get to that point, guys, I have to give you all a huge shout out. Thank you so much for all the love and the support that I've gotten from my first few videos. I really, really appreciate it from everybody who's reached out to me, everybody who's liked, subscribed, and everything. So cheers to you guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.